Gold, frankincense, and myrrh, those were the gifts of the Magi to the Christ child. What does that have to do with your health today? Hi, I'm Dr. Christensen, and welcome to my office. We've moved into a new place, and at some point we'll give you a tour of the office. Today I want to talk about a new herbal formula that we've designed that we're really quite excited about. It's based on the tradition of the gifts that were given to the Christ child by the Magi, or the three kings as they're known. And so what we found through research is that many scholars suggest that the Magi or the three kings were involved in what we call the spice trade, and they were part of that spice trade route. And the gifts that were given to Christ, of course, were gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, at the time of Jesus, turmeric, which was known as the golden spice, was considered more valuable than gold. I'm sure it's by weight. Gold is very heavy. Turmeric is a spice. It's not so heavy, but even so, it was considered very valuable. And some are suggesting that the gifts that were given that had great economic value as well as medicinal value were in fact gold, or the golden spice, or turmeric, frankincense, and myrrh. And so as I've pondered those concepts, I put together a formula that reflects this, and we call this formula Three Kings. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the Three Kings today. We know that turmeric is a very valuable and powerful herb known as curcuma longa. That's the Latin name for it. It's used for arthritis pain or rheumatic pain. It controls and decreases swelling or inflammation. Used for menstrual problems, used as a blood purifier, for skin disorders. It helps with digestion. Turmeric, as you may know, is used in a lot of ethnic cooking, particularly cooking of food in India. And it has great pharmacological effects, meaning that it can change our body's chemistry. It's known as an antioxidant. It's known as anti-aging, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, helps heal wounds. It's cardioprotective, actually helps to strengthen and protect your heart. It modulates the immune system. Modulating is more than stimulating or suppressing. It modulates. It does what the immune system naturally needs to be strong and be healthy. It helps with the nervous system. Also known to be anti-cancer. Turmeric is one of those great herbs. Interesting to note that a lot of turmeric that you see these days is combined with black pepper. And this is based on a study that was done that showed that by combining black pepper with turmeric, it increases the effectiveness of the turmeric by up to 20 times. And so we see lots of black pepper. However, that study has failed to be repeated. And so try as they may, scientists are not seeing the effectiveness of black pepper and turmeric. And so what we're determining is that that's probably not a combination that's worthwhile. Personally, when I've done it, I find that the black pepper has been kind of an irritant to the stomach or digestive tract, and so it doesn't sit well. Recent research, however, over the last 5 years has shown that if we combine the turmeric with an herb called fenugreek, which is also used in cooking in India, does amplify the effectiveness of the turmeric. Studies that have been repeated again and again show that it will amplify the curcuminoids, or the active ingredient in the turmeric, up to 24 to 46%, depending on the study. And so that's quite impressive. And so in our Three Kings formula, the base of it is turmeric. We add fenugreek as well, and that helps it along, I think. Again, primary uses of turmeric are for pain management. It again reduces the inflammation. It lowers triglycerides and cholesterol. Cholesterol is a whole nother lecture, but understand that cholesterol is not the enemy. Cholesterol is actually the good guy, and when you have high cholesterol, it's a sign that you've got a lot of inflammation. And so by taking turmeric, you can lower the inflammation, thus lowering the cholesterol. And so, again, cholesterol is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just an indicator that you've got inflammation in your body. If you take something that is going to artificially lower the cholesterol, you may still have the inflammation. And the cholesterol being a protective mechanism is going to be inactivated because of the statin drug that you may be taking. And so we find if we can lower the cholesterol through something like turmeric or frankincense or myrrh, as we'll talk about in a moment, that's going to be much more effective. And so we also find that turmeric is a valuable herb in supporting autoimmune diseases. And so, if the body is fighting against itself, the turmeric can help with that. Some of the secondary benefits of using turmeric is that it will take the inflammation out of an inflamed or an irritated bowel. So someone with irritable bowel disease also helps with a fatty liver. We find that in the United States here, 35% of the population is suffering from a fatty liver, and again, much of it to our diet and so turmeric can help with that. Helps with your eye health, with kidney health, with gastroesophageal reflux. It helps with gastroesophageal reflux or GERD. Again, it's a great herb to use, and we recommend it highly. Before I go on to the other herbs, we ask the question, well, what causes inflammation? I talked about inflammation a little bit. One of the primary causes of inflammation is our diet, the junk that we're eating, the preservatives. The biggest factor, I think, is the sugar, particularly some of the modified sugars like high fructose corn syrup, which can create a lot of problems. A sedentary lifestyle is going to cause inflammation in your body. And so a lot of people think that the more you move around, the more active, the more inflammation. Not true. The more sedentary you are, the more inflammation. Chronic infections, stealth pathogens. When we talk about autoimmune disorders, we're dealing with these chronic low-level infections or stealth pathogens. Again, an autoimmune disorder will cause inflammation. Chronic or excessive stress that is prolonged over a long period of time. If you're not sleeping well, obesity, a fatty liver we mentioned, toxins and drugs, trauma, a lot of these things can cause inflammation in the body. And again, turmeric, especially combined with fenugreek, is a great herb. The next herb we talk about that we use in our formula is frankincense. Frankincense is also known as boswellia. That's the Latin name for it. And there's many varieties of the boswellia, and they all seem to work really, really well. And so frankincense is known as one of the great cancer fighters. It helps with arthritis. It lowers inflammation. It helps specifically with ulcerative colitis, with Crohn's disease, with asthma, with depression, with anxiety. Again, frankincense is one of the great herbs that we use for pain. With the opioid epidemic that we're seeing right now, it's important that we have natural alternatives to some of these addictive and harmful drugs, and even some of the natural derivatives of the opioids can cause a lot of problems. The final herb that we use, again, to round out our gold, frankincense and myrrh, is myrrh, of course. And myrrh has been used to treat hay fever. It's antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's antiparasitic, it's anti-cancer. I mean, it helps with your skin. It's a relaxant, it's a digestant. It helps with diarrhea. It helps with hypothyroidism. It's a nice one. We use myrrh in some of our other formulas to fight what we call these stealth pathogens. These pathogens are these virus, bacteria, fungus that the immune system isn't being able to address and control and manage because they've been enshrouded with our own body tissue, fat cells, for example. And so myrrh is a powerful combination. And so when we package together our Three Kings formula, it includes, and these are all powdered, and so it includes the turmeric. We use 2 parts turmeric. So here's your recipe. 2 parts of the turmeric, 2 parts frankincense. Frankincense can sometimes be hard or difficult to find. This one's from Star West, and we're happy with their frankincense. Both the frankincense and myrrh are harvested by what's called wild crafting, meaning they're going out there and they're gathering it from the trees or the source. It's actually the sap, if you will. If you score, if you cut the bark, it will bleed the frankincense or the myrrh, both of those. And then we have 1 part of the myrrh. Again, it's another resin similar to frankincense. And finally, as I mentioned, the fenugreek, which we use. It has many healing properties on its own, but we're using it more for its synergistic effect on the turmeric. And so, real simple to make this formula. It's going to be an encapsulated formula. We simply mix the ingredients together. 2 parts turmeric, 1 part each of frankincense, myrrh, and fenugreek. Blend them all together. The myrrh and the frankincense sometimes will clump together because of their resinous properties. You just break that apart and with the back of a spoon or something and mix everything. And then and then we use the little capsule machine. These are inexpensive. They do 24 capsules at a time. We'll have a video up that will demonstrate how to use the capsule machine. And so very, very simple to make capsules out of this. We simply follow the directions on here or the video that we're going to be putting up on using the capsule machine. I recommend taking either 2 capsules 3 times a day or 3 capsules 3 times a day. Safe to take on long-term basis. We don't recommend taking this product during pregnancy and nursing, as is so many contraindications for many things. And so we recommend you giving this a try. It's a great tonic. It's a great immune regulator. Helps to strengthen your immune system. If you've got any of the symptoms that we've mentioned, give it a try. It's a great product. We've put together some kits where you can purchase the ingredients for us. But as you can see, the recipe's pretty darn simple. And so thanks for joining us. Be sure to share this with others who may need this type of product to help them, and that's all I've got to say. So